Good morning, this is Leo. Today I want to talk about the Networking on Steroids or Global Owners Mastermind Group. And we've had a number of events in the Toronto area already, and I find that some of the people still don't understand the concept. And I get it. We've been working on this concept now for over 20 years. It's easy for me to understand because we've been developing the system and redesigning the networking event so it works for the attendees. So let's quickly go over that. Why are we trying to redesign networking? Well, first of all, I've been to a number of networking events, BNI groups, Business Networking International, meetup groups, and other networking groups. And the problem with that is you're spending or you're investing an awful lot of time to go to these events, and you never know who's going to be there. You don't know if there's going to be a whole bunch of time wasters, multi-level marketing people, or whatever, because you know who your clients are. And wouldn't it be great if you could prearrange ahead of time who you're going to meet? Or if you could see a list of people who are going to be there, then that way you can communicate with them beforehand to see if they're the right clients for you before you invest a lot of time and energy. So that's the basic outline of what we're trying to accomplish. So again, the group is Global Owners Mastermind Group, and we go by the hashtag of networking on steroids. We get a lot of emails on LinkedIn, as I'm sure you do as well. And most people um, have the attitude, I have a website, go to my website and see what I do. Or they send a file and expect you to read a 3 or 20-page file as to what they do. Or they send an email basically saying, well, try us out. We are a contractor, we are this, we are that. Give us a shot, try us out. And it sounds innocent enough, but keep in mind, LinkedIn has been around for 20 years now. Some companies on LinkedIn have been around for 5, 10, 30, 40 years. And in that time, they've developed a lot of relationships. They have people they're working with. They have, contractors that they trust and they're loyal to, and the contractors are loyal to them. So you can't expect to say, well, drop a contractor you've been working with for 20 years and try me out. It's not realistic. But yet we continually get these emails that say, try me out. And when you look at their profile on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, even their website, their Trust Foundation does a better job pushing them away than it does attracting future potential clients. So I want to go over in a little more detail about that. Um, Now, some companies are a little more successful. They use testimonials, and they have their clients speak on their behalf, which in theory sounds like a great idea. But we all know the consumer is getting more and more sophisticated, more and more educated. So, I mean, they can see through that as well. When you meet a salesperson, how do you feel? As soon as we feel that there's a sales pitch coming along, we shut down. And and you have to wonder, there's what we say and what people hear. Is what we're saying the same thing that the client hears, or are we just building resentment? Just because something worked yesterday or 20 years ago doesn't mean it's going to work tomorrow. Um, Now, 96%, what does 96% represent? 96% is a failure rate of companies. There's a 96% failure rate in companies in the contracting industry, in most industry. Obviously, restaurants are a little bit higher. But there's a 96% failure rate. And yet, the construction renovation industry has been the most profitable industry consistently since 1920. So, how can those two figures exist on the same world? The um, the 4% tend to be the people who have made it, tend to be more successful, which means they're getting a bigger and bigger piece of the pie. Now, what do you say to a contractor or interior designer or anybody else who says, well, most of my business comes from referrals? Well, referrals are great, and every business should get referrals. If you're not getting referrals, you're very close to the bankruptcy stage because it means there's something wrong with your service, there's something wrong with your product. But referrals, even companies that are nearly bankrupt get referrals. Referrals are a minimum standard. Every company on the planet gets referrals. So if that's what all you're doing, you're missing 90% of the opportunity. So if you're not capturing a larger share of the market, it really means you're falling behind. Your competitors are getting in front of you. Now, we deal obviously with a lot of contractors, and at these networking events, there's a lot of different industries. There's interior designers, there's architects, there's travel agencies, there's mortgage brokers, there's all types of industries, and we encourage that. But for the general contractors and for the interior designers and everybody else, what is the most important tool on the job site? And I know a lot of business owners spend a lot of time on the job site. Now, interior designers have a job site as well, and they tend to spend a lot of time um, either staging or putting together a job site. What is the most important part of a job site? If you said marketing, you're absolutely correct. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of slack for this because, Leo, I've been running my contracting business for 20 years. I'm successful. I have, all my business comes from referrals. I spend all my time at job sites. I have to make sure that my clients are happy. Yes, you do. Or should that be you or your people? Now, why is marketing important? Because if you don't have a conveyor belt that delivers clients to you on a regular basis, you're falling behind because your competition is moving ahead of you. Your competition is using the social media tools, is using the marketing tools, is using the 33 tools that a contractor or interior designer, mortgage broker, or real estate agent should be using. So, does anyone recognize this face? Now, this is Kylie Jenner. She's 22 years old, and she just sold 51% of her cosmetic company for $600 million. So, why does that apply? Well, she obviously is not a scientist. She doesn't know what makeup is, aside from applying it to her face, but she is a genius at marketing. Whether you like the Kardashians or you don't, it doesn't matter. The more people hate them, the richer and more successful they get. So, what is her tool? Is she on the job site? Is she manufacturing and packaging or putting makeup in boxes? Of course not. She knows her job is marketing. Her job is making brand awareness. She understands, at 22 years old, she understands what branding is. She understands what marketing is. Now, if you as a contractor, interior designer, or mortgage broker understood that your job is not the product, your job is not the job site, your job as an owner is not to make sure your clients are happy. That's your employees' work. Your job and your most important tool is marketing. Now, why am I emphasizing this so much? Well, this is the core of our networking group. It's the reason why it's called Global Owners Mastermind Group, it's not just networking, it's all about solving your problems to get your business to the next level. So, utilizing the 33 tools to get your business to the next level. Again, Kylie Jenner, I suggest you look her up. Use her as an inspiration. Put your picture up on your wall. Forget about the jealousy, forget about all that crap. Use it to motivate you. Use it to motivate your people. Use it to get your business to the next level. This interesting gentleman, his name is Gary Vaynerchuk. And again, he's one of the premier marketing geniuses. I've been following him for over 10 years. And what he predicted 10 years ago that would happen today, he's 100% correct. He predicted Facebook. He predicted the IPO for Facebook. He bought shares at $3. And he predicted a lot of the things that were going on. If you don't if you don't have a mentor like him to find out what's going to happen 3 years from today, you really could be in trouble, because if you don't know what's ahead of you on the road, you could hit a pothole that could derail your car or derail your company. When you started your business, whether it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or even 20 years ago, or even 40 years ago, life was much simpler back then. You could make a ton of mistakes, you could screw a client, and you could find another one. And word of mouth didn't really affect you then. Yes, you had somebody bad mouthing you, but it didn't collapse your business. Today, it's a different world. One person can bring down a company. Um, there's an 85-year-old company that went bankrupt 3 years ago because one person decided that he didn't like the service he received from that 85-year-old company, and that company didn't exist 3 months later. So there are some powerful tools called social media. Either you make them work for you, or someone might make them work against you. Global Owners Mastermind Group is really designed to sit down with 20 or 50 of your colleagues who have experienced your problems and solved them and have moved beyond them. Why is this important? I've analyzed companies that had one company in particular, a flat roofing company, that had been around for 40 years, and they were still dealing with startup issues. They still didn't know what their cash flow overhead burden was. They didn't know marketing. They didn't know how to treat clients. They didn't know how to motivate employees. They didn't know a lot of the basic things that most companies have to know very quickly. And they were learning by trial and error. And after 40 years, I went in, and the wife was ready to leave. And the wife was the one who called me. And I'm sure I'll go into more detail about that story. But the point is, after 40 years, they still had growing pains. Um, why do we need a great plan? Well, without a plan, if you wouldn't design, or if you wouldn't build yourself a house without a blueprint, then why would you consider building your business without a blueprint? The blueprint is a way to eliminate all the problems before you start building the house. The same principles apply for a business. The business blueprint is a great way to eliminate mistakes before they happen. Now, to give you a sense of what kind of tools are needed today, back 20 years ago, you built a website and you were bombarded with business. Today, in order to get leads from a website, and you know how many leads you're getting from a website, you need to build a lot more. The standards are much higher, and the goalpost keeps moving. The goalpost, where the goalpost is today, it's going to be moved for next month, next year. To give you an example, we just built a website for a shoe store where we needed 250,000 unique content, professionally written pages to get relevance, to get noticed by Google. Okay, so if your website has 3, 5, 10 pages, and you're trying to dominate a market like Toronto, Vancouver, or Los Angeles, whatever the market you're trying to dominate, there's no way in hell you're going to do that with 5 or 10 pages. So the standards that we might be using are 10 or 20 years old. The standards tomorrow, 250,000 pages, are today's standards. It may be 260 or 300,000 pages, 3 months from now. Now, as a group, we are stronger. We know that. Two people can accomplish the work of three people when there's synergy, when you're in the zone. So the benefits of belonging to Global Owners Mastermind Group is to build your trusted circle. Instead of promoting your services, now you're promoting people within your trusted circle. Now, this trusted circle are not people that you need. These are people that your future clients will need. So let's say you're a real estate agent. In order to get listings, you have to help people first. Um, you educate them in terms of why they want to sell, why they want to update the kitchen, why they want to paint the house before they list it, why they want to stage it, why they need a home inspection before listing it, why they need to do a roof inspection or to do a landscape design or whatever the other 50 things they should be doing. Um, Once you educate your consumer, now they're going to see you as the expert standing right in front of them. And if you're the experts right in front of them, they're more likely to use you as the real estate agent than to use someone else. So the education process is huge. So even though you're talking to a client that might be listing their house 5 years from now, or 3 years from now, or 2 years from now, whatever that is, you're helping them. 2 years from now, they're going to remember that you gave them, electrician or a plumber or someone because you were desperate and you had a flood or whatever happened, and you helped them without asking for anything in return. You're sending them videos, how-to videos. You're sending them ways to help their lifestyle. You're sending them great soccer tips for their kids. You're sending them 100 different things, and you're promoting people within your trusted circle. Now the benefit is now you have 50 people or 100 people in your trusted circle that are now promoting you. So think about that. When you create a trusted circle, yes, you're working for them, but they're also working for you. When you say, I'm the best real estate agent in Toronto or Canada, nobody cares, nobody's listening, and nobody believes you because you're spouting out stuff that they don't believe. But if your interior designer says, I know the best real estate agent in the Ontario market, I'll get him to give you a call. Now that's an endorsement that carries a lot more weight. Don't you agree? Now imagine 50 people that are endorsing you as a real estate agent or endorsing you as a general contractor or whatever. Okay. So this is the second foundation, is the endorsements. If Frank Lloyd Wright said, there's only one other person that I would trust to build houses for my clients, and that would be you, or that would be this person, and mentions you by name, that's an incredible endorsement. Now imagine other leaders in the industry saying the same thing about you. Okay. Does that mean you can rest on your laurels? Does that mean you don't have to fix your company? No, it means the opposite. It means your game better be at the A level. Because if somebody's risking their reputation to say, hey, you are the best, I'm going to endorse you, the pressure is on. You have to deliver. You have to have the trust, the trust foundation in place. You have to have the business blueprint in place. You have to control your costs. You have to make sure the project's done on time and on schedule and on budget. So, I mean, these are all things we're going to cover at these events, but we all have to be on the ball. Now, obviously, you in the circle, and you're promoting everyone around you. Now, how you promote people is like this slide here. You're putting a video together with 50 or 60 or 100 different slides like this. So when you send the slides to your client, you tell them the mark at iMark Construction is on timestamp 2 minutes 3 seconds, and they can go directly to that. Now, while they're going to that, everyone's curious. They scroll before or after and they say, oh, they have a stager, or they have a mortgage broker who finances high risk mortgages, or my brother in law needs that, or whatever, or they have a moving company, or the other 100 different things on there. Even though you sent them one, your whole deck is on there, and now you're encouraging that client to call other clients. So when you're building your trusted circle, this would be one slide, and you could add 2 or 3 other slides showing some of Mark's work. Sherry obviously does office and construction cleaning. Again, she would be part of your trusted circle. We have a blind company, didn't get a chance to do that. Now, there's what we call a done-for-you program, because obviously I can hear you say, you know, Leo, I'm busy enough. I don't have time to do networking. I don't have time to do any of the crap you just mentioned. You know, we're so busy. You know, we can't do that. There's a reason why we haven't done any marketing or networking. One of the things that I would have to say about that is busy is the new stupid. I apologize for how harsh that sounds, but that's really accurate. If you're really that busy, I mean, think about what that says to your potential client. If you tell the potential client that you're so busy, you're saying it as a positive thing. You're saying it as if you're successful. But what the client hears is, okay, he's not going to have enough time for me. If there's a problem, I'm not going to be able to reach him. And this is going to be a fiasco. This is going to be a freaking nightmare. So that's not what the client wants to hear. Successful people want to deal with successful people. Successful people are organized. Successful people are excellent at time management skills. Successful people are great at delegating. Successful people want to deal with other successful people. Watch your body language. Even though you're talking to someone on the phone, you know, or you can see their body language. So if you say you're so busy, be careful what they're hearing, because what you're saying and what they're hearing are two different things. So the Done For You program is everything is done for you behind the scenes. So again, the third benefit of joining Global Owners is that 95 to 99% of the work that goes into networking is done before the event. So in other words, you're meeting all the people that you want to meet on LinkedIn, mostly on LinkedIn. We also use Instagram, Facebook, and so on, but mostly on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a diamond mine of all your future potential clients. If whether you believe in God or not, if God wanted to make it easy for you, he would first find out who your future potential clients are, who your most profitable clients are. He would put all those people in one room so you get a chance to speak with them all at one time. That room would be called LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a tool that most people don't understand and certainly do not know how to use. Because we've done a survey of over 2,000 people. 99% of them are not getting clients from LinkedIn. Most of them would say, well, isn't LinkedIn, a place for you to find a job? Isn't LinkedIn a place for you to meet HR people and headhunters and stuff? No, it isn't. It might have started like that 20 years ago. It's certainly not that today. Okay. LinkedIn is where all your clients are. I don't care what industry you're in. LinkedIn is where all your clients are. And it's the cheapest and easiest way for you to reach them and reach them directly. I mean, imagine calling a company and trying to get to the CEO. First, you're going to go through the receptionist. The receptionist is going to put you through to a department head. Then the department head is going to figure out whether he even wants to talk to you. And you might be able to leave a message. Most of the time, they're going to hang up on you. But with LinkedIn, you can reach the CEO directly without the gatekeepers. Imagine what a powerful tool that is. You can reach anyone, anywhere in the world, just by asking to be connected with that person. So the Done For You program is figuring out, we will sit down over days or weeks to figure out who your most profitable clients are. Not the people that want to do business with you, but who traditionally your most profitable clients are or who they should be. Okay. And once we know who they are, then we design a system to reach them at a cost efficient way. Then we start create a relationship on your behalf. And by the time you meet these people either on a phone call or at the networking event, you've already had an established conversation over weeks or months. And by the time you meet at the networking event or cocktail party, we're probably going to rebrand it because really it should be a cocktail party environment because you already know this person, you already know their son plays soccer, you already know the kids' names, you already know everything about that person, including the family life and business life. And when you meet them, it's like meeting a long lost friend, and it's deepening that relationship. So I can't state that enough. 95 to 99% of the work that goes into networking is done before the event, and that's done for you on your behalf. Done for you programs range anywhere from $299 to $1,500. You get the benefits of the work done without doing the actual work. Now, you have to calculate what is the value, what is the lifetime value of a client. If you're an interior designer, what is your average job? Is it $20,000? Is it $50,000? What is your average job? And what is the cost of client acquisition now? What is it you're doing? Are you waiting for referrals? Um, Sitting back waiting for referrals might have worked for you in the past, but life is so short. And if you don't have interior designers working for you and you're doing the physical labor of moving couches and going to pick out paintings and rugs and stuff like that, chances are you're working for your business and the business is not designed to work for you. If you don't have three assistants doing marketing, or if you don't sub out the marketing part of your business, you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing. If you pay yourself $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year and you're answering your own emails, you can hire someone to answer your emails for you at $30,000 a year. Okay? Or better yet, sub that out at $1,500 a month. Social media is extremely important to today's business. The job site is less important. When you control your message, you're controlling your future. Now, what I'd like you to start thinking about is what is your goal? You can decide to do the the work to meet your future potential clients, but start by setting a goal. You want to meet 10 people, you want to meet 5 people, you want to meet whatever, who are they, and how soon would you like to get this accomplished? A goal is only a goal when you have a start date, a daily action plan, and a finish goal, and a way to measure success. I hope that helps. I hope I've caused more questions than answers. If I cause more questions, it means now you're thinking. And I hope to meet you all at the next networking event where we can dive deeper in some of these issues. Let's get your business to the next level. Thank you. Have a great day.